Hey everyone, it's Annie again. It's part two. Surprise, surprise. Someone actually asked about snoring, and I totally forgot my new gadget. And I has actually saved it for last. I want to talk about it last because it was so cool, and I completely forgot. So, if you snore or if you are sleeping with somebody who snores, one of the things that I recently have been studying on is getting enough oxygen into our body, and that we should be breathing through our nose and not our mouth, right? So um, I've got a couple books on that. I'm reading actually three of them at the same time, and I will share those books with you. But there's a little gadget that I use, and it's called a mouth tape. This is awesome. I sent it to my friend, and he said it's been helping him. He's had better sleep. He doesn't get up in the middle of the night as much. Like, he doesn't alert himself from the snoring that he's doing. I've gave some to a couple of friends. I haven't heard back from them yet. But I will follow up with them. But it's basically, I personally have used it. I didn't think I snored, but I use that sleep cycle app I talked about in the other video, and it mentioned that I did snore for like 2 minutes, 5 minutes. And at that time, I think I had a free membership on that, but it does record your snoring so you can hear what you sound like. So again, the app is Sleep Cycle. And fortunately, I didn't sound like like a big truck driver snoring, right? It was just heavy breathing that I was doing. But I'm looking up, I started looking at the mouth tape. So there's a whole bunch of different mouth tapes out there. But this is the one I went with, and I'll share this one as well. But you basically, I think there are ways you put it this way, or you can put it this way, right? But it's basically to keep it so that you don't open your mouth when you're sleeping, right? Because our mouths are actually meant to take food in and not to take air in. We have hair inside our nose because it helps protect it and clean the air as we're breathing it in. And that's what our nose is meant to do. It's meant to take air in. So basically, you would put this, you kind of want to close your mouth like this, your lips like this, and then just put the tape gently over. I don't push it in. I just put it gently over, and it's just enough to keep my mouth closed. There's a whole bunch of other gadgets that they have out there. There's also those breathe right strips, right, for snoring, because that is to make your nostrils open wider to take in more air. But if you are using that and you're still a mouth breather, that's not going to be beneficial. So what would help is to have the mouth tape with the nose, with the breathe right strips. I haven't done that because this alone has been very helpful. And if you wake up with a really dry mouth, that's an indication that you're breathing through your mouth, right? And you're snoring. So it actually helps minimize the snoring. I don't know if it's going to make it completely go away, but it will make you have full better rest. So this is like my new exciting gadget. Super simple thing. Some people like to use like some medical tape, and they just completely shut their mouth, tape their mouth, but I'm a little bit afraid to do that, so I do kind of leave a little bit opening still, just in case I need a little breath through my mouth, right? But that's one. Another one is you also can put breathe in the diffuser. That's going to help open up your airways, right, to take in more oxygen. You can also take the breathe and put the breathe right. Just swipe it under your nose right before you sleep. There's a lot of people who have a CPAP machine. This has been so helpful for them. I have one person that said they don't even use a CPAP machine anymore, right? So they kind of wean themselves off of it. A lot of people like to put it directly on the CPAP. I don't know what kind of material is used, whether that's going to mess up the material. So I would prefer to just put it on your under your nose, and then put the CPAP on top of that. Another way also is to apply breathe right directly over the sinuses of the person who's snoring. So if your partner is snoring, you want to slap this tape on them and then put the breathe right here over their sinuses to help open up their airways. I also will recommend the Breathe Roll-On. Okay, the Breathe Roll-On has coconut oil in it. So if they have very sensitive skin or very oily skin, I don't recommend using the roll-on because of the coconut oil. But some people can actually take it, and it's a lot more convenient to just roll it right over the sinuses. So this has been very, very helpful as well. So to prevent snoring, in summary, is to use the mouth tape. You can use the Breathe Right tapes, but I recommend this, the mouth tape and the Sleep Cycle, like, yeah. And then the Breathe and the diffuser. So those are the ones for snoring. The next one is if you have any kind of congestion, Breathe is also going to help. You want to go ahead and put Breathe in the diffuser. You can put rosemary in there as well, and eucalyptus. Those are the three that's really, really good for helping with any kind of congestion. You can also put that all over your chest. Another one is if you have like a sinus kind of infection, congestion going on, you want to use Melaleuca. Okay, so you can put, I've had people successfully just put the Melaleuca on the Q-tip, and then they kind of shove it straight up their nose, right? As if you're getting a COVID test, right? Very painful, but it's very effective to get the Melaleuca there and really take care of that bacteria. Melaleuca is very, very good at taking care of bacteria. Okay, another easier way, right? So she's actually doesn't do that anymore because it's a little bit too like self-inflicting pain, right? Is you can just put it directly over your sinuses as well. And the same thing, you can go ahead and use the Melaleuca roll-on. This again has coconut oil, so I want to test it on your skin first so that you don't break out. Okay, but directly put it right over your sinuses if you have any kind of sinus kind of infection, congestion going on. If you have back pain, oh my gosh, for me, sometimes, you know, I'll play tennis at night and I'm like super, super sore, right? Bam, right? You know the drill. It's deep, deep blue. I love my deep blue right before bedtime. Is really, really nice. There is a little bit of peppermint on there, but it's not enough to keep me awake. It actually makes me feel a little bit more relaxed, and my muscles a little bit feel, it feels cooling but warm at the same time. Okay, if it's severe pain, you want to go ahead and add some Wintergreen on there. Wintergreen is a liquid like a cortisol. It kind of helps with inflammation, helps with pain. Okay, so this, I use this a lot. Also, you can use the deep blue oil, follow it up with a deep blue rub. My son loves to use that. So if you have any back or muscle pain, you want to just apply it on there. If you have kind of like a restless leg syndrome thing going on, lemongrass with some coconut oil, over your legs. Another one also, you want to use a Cypress because that helps with circulation on your legs as well. Very, very good for that. And then what was the last thing? And then also if you have cold feet, Cassia is a really good one. There's somebody who uses the oils over in Alaska, and they like to do those Alaska dog sled races. I can't think of the name right now, but she says to keep her feet warm, she uses Cassia, and I can't find my Cassia. But yeah, I can't find my Cassia. But Cassia is kind of like a form of a cinnamon. It's a form of cinnamon, and it helps warm up the feet. I actually like to use the Cassia in water, a couple drops. This tastes really, really good. But you can also use oregano like over your feet to warm up your legs, right? So I had somebody who had swollen feet that used the oregano up and down their legs, their lower leg, and then also on their feet. And she loved the fact that it actually kept her feet warm at night, and she had really good sleep. Okay. And then lastly, if you wake up because you have to go to the bathroom all the time, right? Of course, the obvious thing is to not drink at least 2 hours before you go to bed. Another thing is sometimes you still have to wake up. So what I recommend to people also is you keep a water journal, right? You have your food journal and you have a water journal. So basically, not necessarily water, but it's a liquid journal. So you'll drink it, and then you kind of time how long it takes for you to have to go to the bathroom, right? You can measure how much volume you've been drinking, and then when you go to the bathroom. And that way, you know, for some people, they have to go to the bathroom, you know, right at 2 hours. Some people, you know, less than that, right? So time that, and then that's the time that you want, the last time you want to drink water. But another one also is to use Cypress. Again, Cypress is our circulation oil. But what it is, it's also a firming oil. So when you put this right directly over your bladder, it's going to firm up your bladder. So you're not going to have the signal to have to go to the restroom, and it kind of keeps all of your urine in place, right? So it's just going to be enough for you to wait until to go into the morning, right? So of course, don't drink right before you go to bed, and then go to the restroom and relieve yourself right before you go to bed, and then apply the about 2 drops on your palm, and then just rub it over your bladder. Okay, this is really good for young kids who are bedwetting as well. This has been very successful in helping them stopping the bedwetting, and they just, you know, self-confidence wise, it's such a really this is such a underrated oil. I love my Cypress. Okay, and I believe those are my gadgets now. Okay. So yeah, thank you for asking those questions. Ask me more questions because I'll forget. I just feel like everybody kind of knows it. Oh, and then here is one of my eye masks that I have. I talked about it in the other video, the eye mask. And you want to get an eye mask that that's not just flat, right? Because you don't want it touching your eyeball. So this one is, I don't know if you could see it. It's kind of like in a little cup shape. So that it cups over, and then you want space to even cover part of your nose, because there are some eye masks where you get it and it doesn't take into consideration your nose. So then now your nose is kind of like, you know, allowing extra light in there, right? And for me, I don't even have a big nose and I can see the light. Imagine if you have a big nose, you're gonna have all that light there, right? But yeah, this one is okay. I'm still testing several ones, but this one is probably the one that I still kind of use. There was a Kickstarter one, and I believe I did order it, and now I need to track it down. Like, I don't get notification of when they're shipping it out or not. But there was a Kickstarter one that said that it was supposed to be a really good eye mask. Another thing also for the ears, right? If you again, for snoring, I forgot to mention, is to get some really good earplugs. Okay, when I traveled all the time, I would have different roommates, right? So I don't know if they're going to be snorers, if they're going to be light snorers or truck driver snorers, right? So I would have some earplugs just in case if they kept me up. So that is it. I think that's all the gadgets that I had for sleeping, but they are all very useful and very helpful. So pick one of those. Reach out to me again if you got any questions on that or any other sleep concerns that I did not bring up. All right. That should be it for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.